Hi guys, my name is Sandy and I have a secret alter ego, and apparently I am not the only one. Have you ever heard of the Batman effect? I have been using it since I can't remember. I just didn't know what it was called. So today's video is all about the power of having an alter ego and how you can use it to do whatever you want without anxiety, fear, or even pain. I think that's something we could all use at one time or another, don't you agree? And if you do stick with me to the end, I'll also give you some really simple tips for creating an alter ego of your own. So, I guess the first thing to do is to explain what this Batman effect is all about. It's essentially a self-distancing technique that's mostly known among child psychology. When a child is overwhelmed about a situation, they're asked what Batman, or whatever their favorite superhero is, would do. Then, the work revolves around helping the child create that detachment in order to allow them to be able to deal with it. Because in fact, that's exactly what a lot of superheroes do. Glasses on, you're Clark Kent. Glasses off, cape on, and you're Superman. Peter Parker puts on the suit and he's Spider-Man. I mean, come on, the Hulk is obviously the person the calm and overly polite Bruce Banner wishes he could be at times, but lacks the courage. I could give you a long list of examples, but I think you get the picture. These characters create superpowers, brave alter egos that hide behind a mask that in turn allows them to do what they need to do. And that's pretty much how this concept works too. Let me give you my example. I have always been a deeply shy, insecure person. The fact there are no photos of me smiling as a baby is kind of a family folklore around here. I wasn't unhappy at all. I was just really shy. And I vividly remember, as I was about to go to school for the first time, looking in the mirror and having a conversation with myself. It went something like, do you want to make friends at school? Do you want people to like you? Then you can't be so shy. You have to talk to people and you have to smile. And that is exactly what I did. From that moment on, I was the most cheerful, happy person you can think of socially. Now, of course, I had no idea of what an alter ego was. In fact, I only realized what I had done about 15 or 20 years later when a friend of mine turned to me and said, "Whoa, you know, you're always so happy and in a good mood, there's always this big smile on your face. What's your secret?" Only then did I realize what I had done, how I had created this alternative person and how people around me didn't really know me, just my alter ego. Now, by now, you may be thinking that that is a bad thing. People should get to be themselves regardless, and I totally agree. And I will say that as I worked more and more on my personal growth journey and just started accepting myself and loving myself exactly the way I am, the lines between me and my alter ego really blurred, That's when I understood that my alter ego wasn't someone else. It was just a confident, happy, safe me. Do you see what I'm saying here? My alter ego allowed me to do things and to live a life I wanted, but wouldn't have been able to live because I had all these issues to deal with. The real me struggled with ordering a pizza because I hated talking on the phone, for crying out loud. And it's not like I was lying or pretending to be someone I wasn't. I just created this detachment from my insecurities, from my fear, my social anxiety that allowed me to be who I truly was, because none of those things were really me. And that's exactly what these alter egos are for, and why they can be such a big help for people like me who want to do stuff and want to achieve things without being crippled by things like anxiety, fear, pain, or self-doubt. Let's think about this for a second. Imagine you're in a really stressful situation. You're sweating, your heart is pounding, you can't think straight. It's all a blur, and then you just wish a hole would open in the ground and swallow you to take you away from it. But unfortunately, most often than not, nothing happens. No one comes to save you, and you need to get yourself out of that situation. For those moments, what needs to happen is you need to control your emotions, your breathing, take a step back and evaluate the situation in a calm, detached demeanor, to get the answer you're looking for. Easier said than done, right? Not when you have a mechanism in place that does exactly that. A technique that kind of feels like that moment at the Avengers when the Ancient One separates Bruce Banner from the Hulk, but this time the alter ego gets to stay instead. It's like your anxious self leaves your body and only the confident, calm, dispassionate one stays behind to deal with all the mess. Now, before we continue, I want to hear from you. Do you have an alter ego? Does any of this make any sense to you? Leave me a comment below letting me know how you feel. I would love to hear from you. Also, tap that like button if you're enjoying this video to let YouTube know it should show it to more people as well. I would really appreciate your support. Okay, here's another very common example of someone using an alter ego. Have you ever noticed how particularly sportsmen like to speak of themselves in the third person? You would think it's them being cocky, but it's actually how they deal with the often uncomfortable situation of doing interviews and public speaking. Stage fright is in fact the most common reason why people use alter egos. It's what allowed me to do theater in my teens when I could barely look anyone in the eye. Your alter ego does not care about what people think of you or what you look like to them when you're doing your own thing. It couldn't care less about your image, your reputation, or other people's opinions, which makes it the perfect tool to have to be able to step out of your comfort zone. And we all know that's where the real magic happens, right? Now, studies show that using an alter ego during anxiety-inducing situations lowers your blood pressure and heart rate, and even your whole body posture changes. Your demeanor completely shifts. It allows you to focus on what needs to be done, to concentrate on the bigger picture, which is awesome for achieving your goals regardless of how scary they feel to you. Some people even use it to improve their relationship with food and improve their overall health, because all those feelings that make you turn to food in the first place no longer have control over you. There's this really amazing book you can read to know more on the subject called Alter Ego Effect by Todd Herman. It's one of my favorites. So, I guess the big question right now is, how can you create your own alter ego? It's actually simpler than you think. Now, the first step is acknowledging why you need an alter ego in the first place. What do you want to achieve? What do you feel is holding you back? What situations cause you the most anxiety? For me, it was all about being able to talk to people at first, and that quickly turned to being able to perform and speak in public as I grew up. By answering these questions, you will be immediately giving your alter ego a mission, a purpose. All the superheroes create their alter egos for a purpose: revenge, justice, to protect the ones they love, whatever it is. Your alter ego needs that too. Next, determine who is your alter ego. What is their personality? How do they think? How do they react to a certain situation? For most cases, an alter ego ends up being your ideal person, the person you wish you were, the personality you would prefer to have. Now, this next one is a bit more far-fetched, but it kind of makes sense. If you think about it, you need to create an overall look for your alter ego, like superheroes have their uniforms and their costumes. If you want to create a powerful, confident alter ego, you will get into it much easier if you're dressed to the part. Wearing a dirty t-shirt and your yoga pants or whatever won't really help you to feel that power, that confidence. And yes, you can even change your voice, the way you talk, or the way you walk if it helps you embody your alter ego. You don't have to, but you can if it does the job. Batman does it, and it kind of works, don't you think? And the name, of course. Beyonce's notorious Sash of Fierce is almost an entity on its own by now, so why not? Whatever helps. Now, one thing I find that really helps me tap into my alter ego is have some sort of mantra, a go-go gadget arm sort of thing. Well, not really, but you get the picture. Mine is as simple as: I am strong, I am safe, I am worthy. Repeating it in my mind a couple of times allows me to bring that power forward and let that alter ego take over. So pick a call to action that is familiar to you, or create your own. It just needs to be something that resonates with you, that stirs something up inside you and helps you bring that alter ego forward. Also, and this is something you definitely need to watch out for, you need to use it wisely. What I mean by this is, if superheroes use their alter egos to go shopping, stay home watching TV, or hanging out with their friends, they wouldn't really be as powerful, would they? Think of your alter ego as your superpower, as something you use when you need it, when you want to be at your A game.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Treat it as the special, powerful, life-changing tool that it is, and not just something to make you feel good all the time, because soon enough, it won't. And never forget to be you, okay? There is the time and the space for the both of you in this world. It needs the both of you. Now, another great tip is picking different sources of inspiration to create your alter ego. If you're looking for courage, you can ask yourself, what would Batman do? But if you're looking for calm or serenity, you probably shouldn't use him as a model, or cheerfulness, or social skills for that matter. Watch the people around you, or read about other people who have done amazing things throughout history, and take those amazing traits for your very own unique, personalized alter ego. For me, in terms of speaking to others and fiercely speaking my mind, it was definitely my sister. I've grown up watching her make friends so easily and strike up a conversation with pretty much anybody with such ease. So it was definitely her for me. When it's going on stage or public speaking or something like that, I tap into the Oprah side of my alter ego. It's that perfect combination of people who inspire you, that create the perfect support in whatever situation. Last but not least, never stop working on your issues, the ones who prevent you from being your best self in the first place. Once you get this alter ego thing working for you, it is so easy to leave your issues aside and just rely on that alter ego for whatever you need. But it doesn't really have to be that way. Dealing with your issues, sorting through them is the only way to become the person you wish you were, that person that can do anything. So keep on working, okay? Blur those lines and live your best life all day, every day. Also, watch this video about ego and self-confidence and how the two are not the same thing. There you'll also find some easy, simple tips for growing your self-confidence and keeping your ego at bay. Remember, self-confidence and alter ego, good, ego, bad, very bad. That is it for me today, and I'll see you over there. Bye bye!